Jokic just had one of the best games ever. Nikola Jokic put on a masterclass against the Kings, and it was one of those performances that leave you shaking your head in disbelief. 35 points, 22 rebounds, 17 assists. Those are numbers you don't see every day. In fact, that stat line has only happened once before in NBA history, and it came from none other than Wilt Chamberlain, all the way back in 1968. That's over 50 years ago. Anytime you're being compared to Wilt, you're doing something legendary. The crazy part? Jokic made it look effortless. He shot 12 for 19 from the field, which is absurd considering he's the focal point of the Nuggets offense every single possession. He also hit 2 of his 3 shots from deep, showing once again that he's one of the most versatile big men the game's ever seen. Then, just to top it all off, he threw in 2 blocks and a steal for good measure. It wasn't just an offensive clinic, it was a complete takeover. This wasn't just a great game. This was Jokic's 5th straight triple-double, 5 in a row. That's ridiculous. This also marked his 20th triple-double of the season. 20th, and we're not even at the All-Star break yet. Just to put that in perspective, most players don't even get 20 triple-doubles in an entire career, let alone in one season. And on the same night, he was named an All-Star starter. Yeah, there was no doubt about that one. He's putting up numbers straight out of a video game. And at this point, it's becoming normal for him. The way Jokic controls a game is unlike anything else in the league. He's not just stuffing the stat sheet for the sake of it. He's actually dictating every single possession. Those 17 assists, that's not just him racking up dimes. That's him orchestrating the entire offense. He's making sure his teammates are in the right spots, finding them with pinpoint accuracy and setting them up for easy buckets. That's why he's so special. He doesn't just make plays, he makes his teammates better. And let's talk about those 22 rebounds. That's dominance on another level. He's not just standing under the rim waiting for the ball to come to him. He's battling, boxing out, and making sure he secures every board. There's a reason he's putting up video game numbers. He's constantly in the right place at the right time, and his basketball IQ is off the charts. The Nuggets are thriving because of Jokic's brilliance. They've won 11 of their last 12 games, and in that stretch, he's been nothing short of unstoppable. He's averaging nearly 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 11 assists during that run. And he's doing it with absurd efficiency. He's shooting 55% from the field, 46% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line. That translates to a true shooting percentage of over 65%, which is unheard of for someone carrying such a massive offensive load. What we're seeing from Jokic this season is historic. Averaging a triple-double for an entire season is rare enough, but doing it while dominating every aspect of the game, that's something entirely different. Somehow, he's still trailing SGA in MVP odds, which is just insane. No disrespect to SGA, he's been incredible, but Jokic is in a different stratosphere. If he doesn't win MVP this year, it's purely because of voter fatigue. That same voter fatigue is what cost him last season when Joel Embiid took home the award. Jokic easily could have won 5 straight MVPs if people weren't taking his greatness for granted. It's crazy how normalized his dominance has become. If someone like Jason Tatum or SGA had 5 straight triple-doubles, the MVP conversation would be over. But because it's Jokic, people just kind of shrug. That's the price of sustained excellence. People start expecting it, but what he's doing is far from normal. These are once-in-a-generation performances happening on a nightly basis. Last night's game wasn't just about numbers. It was about moments that define a player's greatness. Jokic's impact goes beyond the box score. He's the heart and soul of the Nuggets. Without him, they're a solid team. With him, they're legitimate championship contenders. He's not just putting up stats. He's creating winning basketball, and there's a massive difference between the two. And how about the fact that this performance came right after SGA dropped 54 points? You'd think it'd be tough to top that, but Jokic went out and casually delivered one of the greatest performances in NBA history. That's the kind of player he is. When the spotlight's on, he shines even brighter. That's why he's the real MVP. No shade to anyone else, but Jokic is on another level. And let's not forget that 16th longest shot in NBA history. Just when you think you've seen it all, Jokic pulls something like that out of his bag. It's moments like these that make him so special. He's not just dominant, he's unpredictable, creative, and always finding new ways to amaze fans. His last 5 games have been unreal. 35, 22, and 17. 27, 13, and 10. 20, 14, and 10. 24, 12, and 10. Even that quiet 10, 14, and 10 game, that's still a triple-double. He's reached a point where a bad game for him is still better than most players' best nights. His offensive skill set might make him the greatest offensive player in NBA history. He can drop 40 points, or rack up 15 assists on any given night. It's not just about what he does, it's about how he does it. He's got a style of play that's completely unique. The way he moves, the way he sees the floor, the way he makes the right decision every single time, it's something special. If this season continues the way it's been going, Jokic might end up having the greatest individual season of all time. He's already averaging a triple-double, and he's doing it while leading a winning team. This isn't just about personal accolades. It's about team success, and Jokic is the ultimate team player. He's not out there hunting for stats. He's doing whatever it takes to win. That's what separates him from the rest. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during this season. I'd genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Jokic, the numbers, the efficiency, the impact. It all adds up to something truly historic. Nikola Jokic isn't just having a great season. He's redefining what greatness looks like in the modern NBA. It's a privilege to watch him play. And last night was just another chapter in what's shaping up to be an unforgettable story. I want to talk about the MVP race though. Nikola Jokic and SGA are locked in one of the closest MVP races in years. Both are putting up insane numbers, leading their teams to the top of the standings and making a legitimate case for being the best player in the world. The debate could go either way, and that's what makes this race so intense. The stats tell the story of two completely different styles of dominance, and comparing them side by side only makes things even crazier. Jokic is averaging 30.1 points per game while shooting an outrageous 64.9% true shooting percentage. That's efficiency on another level. He's scoring with historic precision, making sure every shot he takes is the right one. Meanwhile, SGA is averaging 32 points per game, slightly ahead in raw scoring, with a true shooting percentage of 63.6%. That's still incredibly efficient, especially for someone who carries such a heavy offensive load. But Jokic is getting it done while taking fewer shots and facilitating the entire offense at the same time. Usage rate is a big factor in this race. SGA has a usage rate of 34.4%, meaning he's involved in a massive portion of his team's possessions. That's expected, since he's the primary scorer and playmaker for his team. Jokic, on the other hand, has a usage rate of 29.8%, but that doesn't tell the whole story. He's not just scoring, he's running the entire offense like a conductor. His passing ability completely changes the way the Nuggets play, and it's reflected in his assist numbers. Jokic is averaging 9.9 assists per game, assisting on nearly 40% of his team's made field goals when he's on the floor. That's unheard of for a center. No other big man in the league comes close to that kind of playmaking impact. SGA is also a capable facilitator, averaging 6.1 assists per game, but his assist percentage is 28.8%. Meaning he's not creating nearly as many shots for his teammates as Jokic is. That's a massive difference when it comes to overall offensive impact. Turnovers are another key factor in this race. Jokic is handling the ball a ton, yet he only has a turnover percentage of 8.46%. That means for every 100 actions he takes, that end in either a shot, assist, or turnover. He's only losing the ball about 8 times. That's elite level ball control for someone who handles the ball as much as he does. SGA, by comparison, has a turnover percentage of 7.93%, which is slightly better, but he's also not facilitating at the same level Jokic is. The fact that Jokic is making so many high-level passes while keeping his turnover numbers low speaks to how incredibly smart and efficient he is. Rebounding is another area where Jokic separates himself. He's averaging 13.2 rebounds per game, with nearly 10 of those coming on the defense end. His defensive rebound percentage is 24.49%, meaning he's grabbing almost 1 out of every 4 defensive rebounds available when he's on the floor. That's elite. SGA, on the other hand, is averaging 5.4 rebounds per game with a defensive rebound percentage of 12.14%. That's not bad, but it doesn't come close to what Jokic is doing in terms of securing possessions and controlling the glass. Offensive rebounding is another area where Jokic shines. He's grabbing 3.4 offensive rebounds per game with an offensive rebound percentage of 9.85%. That means nearly 10% of the time a shot goes up. While he's on the floor, he's the one coming down with the board. That leads to second chance points, extra possessions, and easy buckets for his team. SGA, meanwhile, is only grabbing 0.9 offensive rebounds per game with an offensive rebound percentage of 2.51%. That's a huge gap in overall impact when it comes to rebounding. On the defense side, SGA's been a monster this season. He's averaging 2.1 steals and 1.1 blocks per game, while anchoring a team with a defensive rating of 103.5. That's elite, no question about it. His ability to disrupt passing lanes, protect the rim, and guard multiple positions has made him one of the best two-way guards in the league. Jokic, while not known for his defense, is also making an impact. He's averaging 1.9 steals per game, proving he has quick hands and a great sense of anticipation. However, his defensive rating is 112.9, which isn't quite on SGA's level. The overall impact of each player is reflected in their net ratings. Jokic has a net rating of plus 13.3, meaning his team outscores opponents by 13 points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor. That's elite. But SGA, he has a net rating of plus 18.2. That's an absurd number, and it speaks to how dominant he's been on both ends of the floor. The team context matters though, because the Nuggets rely on Jokic to do everything, while SGA has an elite supporting cast helping him carry the load. Another way to measure impact is the on-off numbers. Jokic's team is 14 points per 100 possessions better when he's on the floor compared to when he's off. That's massive. SGA's team, on the other hand, is plus 13.3. Again, these are elite numbers for both players, but Jokic's ability to control every aspect of the game might give him the slight edge here. Offensively, Jokic's rating is completely ridiculous. He has an offensive rating of 126.2, meaning his team scores at an elite level whenever he's on the court. SGA is still putting up an elite number at 121.7, but Jokic's ability to elevate the entire offense through his scoring and passing gives him an advantage. However, on the defense side, SGA's defensive rating of 103.5 is far better than Jokic's 112.9. That's where SGA closes the gap, making this MVP race even tighter. Then there's the mixed team ranking metric, which calculates how much a player contributes to overall team success. Jokic ranks in the 99th percentile in almost every category, while SGA is at 100% in some areas. That just shows how much both players are doing for their teams. It's not just about the raw stats. It's about how much their presence changes everything for their squads. The advanced numbers all tell the same story. This MVP race is as close as it gets. SGA has the edge in scoring and defense, but Jokic's all-around dominance in scoring, passing, rebounding, and efficiency makes him the most complete player in the league. It's going to come down to how voters value different aspects of the game. Do they reward the best all-around player, or do they lean toward the elite scorer and two-way presence? Either way, this is shaping up to be one of the greatest MVP races in recent memory. The numbers are insane, the impact is undeniable, and both players have a legitimate case to take home the award. No matter who wins, one thing's for sure. Both Jokic and SGA are having all-time great seasons, and watching them go head-to-head in this race is something special. But to me, Nikola Jokic deserves the MVP, and it's not even close in my eyes. SGA's having an incredible season, but what Jokic is doing is on another level. The numbers, the efficiency, the impact, it all points to him being the best player in the world right now. This isn't just about stats though. It's about the way he controls every single aspect of the game, making his team better in ways that go beyond the box score. Jokic isn't just scoring a lot, he's scoring at an absurdly efficient rate. SGA's also elite in this area, but Jokic is doing it while taking fewer shots, meaning he's maximizing every single possession. That's what makes him so unstoppable. He's not a volume scorer who needs 30 shots to get his points. He picks his spots perfectly, making sure his team gets the best possible shot every time. Jokic is also averaging 10 assists per game, which is unheard of for a center. He's assisting on nearly 40% of his team's made shots when he's on the floor. That's what separates him from everyone else in this MVP race. He's not just getting his own buckets, he's creating offense for everyone. SGA's a great passer, but he's not controlling the game the way Jokic does. Jokic makes his teammates better in a way that no other player in the league does. The advanced stats only back this up. Jokic's offensive rating is through the roof, sitting at 126.2. That means when he's on the floor, his team's scoring at an elite level. His on-off numbers are absurd. His team is 14 points per 100 possessions better when he's playing. That's the kind of impact that defines an MVP. SGA's defense is great, and his scoring is elite, but Jokic is the most complete player in the league. He does everything: scoring, rebounding, passing, controlling the pace, and he does it all at an all-time great level. That's why he deserves MVP. There's no player in the league who has a bigger impact on winning basketball than Jokic. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.